We are not your local chamber. We do not propose to be a local chamber. We are the state legislative advocate for the business community, pure and simply. We don't kiss babies, cut ribbons, or do moonlight bandit sales or after-hour business organization programs. We are the lobbyists at the state level and the lobbyists at the federal level. And we take our job very, very, very seriously. In fact, over these 23 sessions of our state legislature, we truly have saved the business community of our state $2 billion, with a B, of savings to our business community that are tangible, reality savings. Otherwise, bad laws and regulations would have impacted our business community negatively. So we're very proud of that track record. And looking back, just most recently, we have just come back. Our chairman of the board is with me today, Phil Kennedy, who you'll hear from in just a moment today. But we have just come back from Washington, D.C., where the State Chamber of Oklahoma was recognized for its passage of the civil justice reform, the tort reform legislation that occurred in the legislative session of 2009. And in that particular document, there were 18 specific areas in a 200-page bill that will take the bullseye off the business community's back. It will ensure the continuation of activities without the fear of being sued frivolously. It will not cut off access to the courts, but in fact it will ensure that class action reforms are in place to where people do not game the system in a jackpot justice situation. We're very proud of that activity. We were given the award of State Legislative Leadership by the Institute for Legal Reform of the United States Chamber of Commerce, and we're very proud of that. And the second award we received is from the American Tort Reform Association, that has given us their very first gold medal award that they've created just to recognize the work that's been done in the state of Oklahoma. And in their words, they said that this law represents a model that other states should emulate. So not only do we get Texas Plus, that was promised by Governor Henry in his inaugural speech, we have gotten National Plus in terms of what it will mean to protecting the jobs, the salaries, the incomes of our families to buy shoes and bread and education for the children. Let's not mistake what the business community is. It's the engine of prosperity in our country and in our state. And for us at the State Chamber, we take that responsibility of serving the business that serves business very, very seriously. We'll show you the specifics of our workers' comp law that has been developed over the last year. We have met every single Monday in committee to develop a piece of legislation that we will introduce into the session that we hope will be considered by our legislature. And if nothing else passes, which will be difficult, candidly, during an election year, the bottom bullet point of supporting a referendum that will require Senate confirmation on any workers' comp judges appointed by the governor is one that we hope we will get passed during this legislative period and during as we run up to the 2010 election cycle. That health care at the federal level is something that we are deathly concerned about in terms of passage of this incredible government takeover of our health system that we think is a very big mistake, will cost our grandchildren unbelievable pain and suffering as they try to take care of the debt, of the deficit that will be created as a result, and the increase in cost of health care over the next century. You see a document here that highlights our proposal of support for health care reform, but not this health care reform. Senator Reid, thank you very much. We think there may be an attempted vote on this tomorrow. We have communicated to our congressional delegation broadly, deeply, often, and we've gone beyond our own to other states. In fact, we've targeted and communicated with 52 Blue Dog Democrats in other states. We have talked with chambers of commerce throughout this United States to get them in the game. So our reach to the State Chamber of Oklahoma goes well beyond our borders. We hope that this can be adjudicated in a way that reduces the cost of health care, increases the quality of health care, but in fact does not put the business community out of business. The next document you see in your packet is looking at the Oklahoma Prosperity Project. I think many of you in this room have talked to you about this before. We're very proud of this process because it is, in fact, an education tool that we are informing the electorate of our state on how best to go to the polls in November of 2010, informed of who is running for our state legislature, how they say they're going to vote on economic issues, and now we've included last election cycle in 2008, our congressional candidates. This time around, we're adding our statewide offices. In other words, the governor, lieutenant governor, the secretary of state, the attorney general, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Or not secretary of state, but the secretary of education, and superintendent of public instruction, et cetera. All these different statewide offices that are running for election. We will interview them, post their results of the surveys on our website, and then we will send the information to the employers that sign up free of charge, and we hope they send it on to their employees who type in their zip code, go to the polls, and pull up the voters' guides that are totally nonpartisan, totally unendorsable. We don't endorse candidates. We encourage, in fact, we mandate that the employers don't tell their employees how to vote or tell them how they're going to vote, but in fact, offer them the raw data and let the employee decide for themselves. So it's up to 500,000 employees now. That's a really big group of informed electorate, and we're very proud of the fact that it is increasing the economic IQ of our state legislature. And if you will, they now are doing a much better job than they did 20 years ago in terms of passing laws that are good for the health of our economy and allows Oklahoma to compete in the global as well as national marketplace.
5 military installations here in Oklahoma that are really a jewel to our economy, and also in Camp Gruber to include that as well. And the importance of this to our economy is the fact that they have an $8 billion impact to our economy. And as we've gone throughout the year, we wanted to make sure that Oklahomans realized that. And we wanted to make sure that the state chamber was doing the things that we could do to further enhance it. Now, each one of the communities that are around the military installations usually has some type of group or have some type of dynamic that they go out and represent their installation or their area for the military in some way. And what we felt that we wanted to do at the state chamber is kind of patterned of what we do with the local chambers, is try to further enhance their mission. We don't want to do what they're doing, but we certainly know that we have a part to play. As we know that we have a part to play in business legislation, we know that we have a part to play in this military issue as well. And we wanted to go out to the communities and bring them together and see how we could further enhance their efforts to not only make us where that we are what some people refer to as BRAC-proof, because that's one of the treasures of our state is the fact that we've gone through several BRACs, and the fact that none of our installations, military installations, have ever been touched in a BRAC, and that's quite a feat if you look at that, because of the nature and the size of the state that we have, the representation that we have. We have tremendous representation. But we're not the largest state. We don't have the numbers that some other states have, California, Texas, but yet we've never been touched. And I think it's got to do with the people that we have here, with the missions that they do and accomplish, and the overall relationships they have with the military. So we wanted to bring those groups together, see what we could do to further enhance the efforts that they're making, to not speak for them, but speak with them. We also wanted to speak with the Oklahoma Military Strategic Planning Commission, which is set up, and actually a local member of your community, Mike Cooper, is the chair of that and does a tremendous job. And we wanted to make sure that we supported them in their efforts and making sure that people realize the importance of the military.
People have looked at us from various perspectives of partisanship. And I will tell you candidly, it's been really fun for me to delve into that whole issue of people looking at us saying, oh, they're a Republican organization. Well, first and foremost, I have been an I for 37 years. I have not declared R's or D's. I don't care about R's or D's or I's. I care about B's. That means a legislator that can spell economic development and a legislator that looks at the business issues. And that's the way we pick our people. We don't ask for their affiliation of a party. We look at their leadership skills. We will continue to do that. Whether I'm here or not, after March my horizon is narrowed. I will be looking for other ways to serve the mission immediately following my term here. Well, I will be bouncing 8 grandkids on my knee for a while and doing a little bit of fishing. I know the fish are trembling in the waters of our world as we speak because I'm coming. And we'll do some of that fun and come back here and get back to work at the mission of making this a better place to work, live, and do business. I am a chosen Oklahoman. I first came here and served at Fort Sill in 1968. They saved my life in Vietnam and came back here in 1986, and I will stay here for the remainder